Mysterious secret coded letters written by Mary Queen of Scots while she was imprisoned in England by her cousin Queen Elizabeth I have been revealed by a multidisciplinary team of international codebreakers. The contents of the letters were believed for centuries to have been lost. That was until George Lasry, a computer scientist and cryptographer, Norman Bierman, a pianist and music professor, and Satoshi Tomokiyo, who is a physicist and patents expert, stumbled upon them while searching the National Library of France's online archives for enciphered documents. The trio only discovered Mary was the author after solving her sophisticated cipher system. Their decipherment work of 57 letters, which is presented in the peer-reviewed journal Cryptologia, reveals around 50 new scripts previously unknown to historians. These date from 1578 to 1584, a few years before her beheading 436 years ago on the 8th of February 1587. Mary's correspondences expose fascinating insights into her captivity. Most are addressed to Michel de Castelnau de Mauvissiere, the French ambassador to England. He was a supporter of Catholic Mary who was under the Earl of Shrewsbury's custody when she wrote them. Upon deciphering the letters, I was very puzzled, and it kind of felt surreal, said lead author Lasry, who is also part of the multidisciplinary Decrypt project, involving several universities in Europe with the goal of mapping, digitizing, transcribing, and deciphering historical codes. We have broken secret codes from kings and queens previously, and they're very interesting, but with Mary Queen of Scots it was remarkable, as we have so many unpublished letters deciphered, and because she is so famous, this is a truly exciting discovery. He added, together the letters constitute a voluminous body of new primary material on Mary Stuart, about 50,000 words in total, shedding new light on some of her years of captivity in England. Mary Queen of Scots has left an extensive corpus of letters held in various archives. There was prior evidence, however, that other letters from Mary Stuart were missing from those collections, such as those referenced in other sources but not found elsewhere. The letters we have deciphered are most likely part of this lost secret correspondence. One of the 16th century's most famous historical figures, Mary was first in line of succession to the English throne after her cousin Elizabeth. Catholics considered Mary to be the legitimate sovereign, and Elizabeth had her imprisoned for 19 years because she was seen as a threat. Mary was eventually executed aged 44 for her alleged part in a plot to kill Elizabeth. During her time in captivity, Mary communicated with her associates and allies through extensive efforts to recruit messengers and maintain secrecy. The existence of a confidential communication channel between Mary and Castelnau is well known to historians, and even the English government at the time. But Lasry and his fellow codebreakers provide new evidence that this exchange was already in place as early as May 1578, and active until at least mid-1584. Using computerized and manual techniques, the study authors decoded the letters, which showed the challenges Mary faced maintaining links with the outside world, how the letters were carried and by whom. Key themes referred to in Mary's correspondence included complaints about her poor health and captivity conditions, and her negotiations with Queen Elizabeth I for her release, which she believed were not conducted in good faith. Her mistrust of Elizabeth's spymaster, Sir Francis Walsingham, was also apparent, as well as her animosity for Robert Dudley, Earl of Leicester and a favourite in the court of Elizabeth. She also expressed her distress when her son James, future King James I of England, was abducted in August 1582, and her feeling that they have been abandoned by France. Writing in a special issue version of Cryptologia, Lasry and his fellow co-authors describe how they first came across the letters. Some were in a large set of unmarked documents in cipher and using the same set of graphical symbols. The catalogue listed them as from the first half of the 16th century and related to Italian matters. However, the study authors said they quickly realised after starting to crack the code they were written in French and had nothing to do with Italy. Their detective work revealed verbs and adverbs, often in the feminine form, several mentions of captivity, and the name Walsingham, which arose the suspicion that they might be from Mary Queen of Scots. This fact was confirmed by comparing them with the plain text of letters in Walsingham's papers in the British Library and through other methods. A search for similar letters in BNF collections uncovered 57 letters with the same cipher. Commenting on the new paper, Mary Queen of Scots expert John Guy, who wrote the 2004 biography of the Queen, which led to a major Hollywood film, says this is the most significant find about Mary for a century. He said, "This discovery is a literary and historical sensation. Fabulous. This is the most important new find on Mary Queen of Scots for 100 years. I'd always wondered if de Castelnau's originals could turn up one day, buried in the Bibliothèque Nationale de France, or perhaps somewhere else, unidentified because of the ciphering, and now they have." Lasry and his co-authors suggest too that other coded letters from Mary which are known to have existed may still be missing. A physical inspection of documents as well as online searches is needed to uncover these, they added. It is hoped that the study will lead to future research. In our paper we only provide an initial interpretation and summaries of the letters. A deeper analysis by historians could result in a better understanding of Mary's years in captivity, added Lasry. It would also be great, potentially, to work with historians to produce an edited book of her letters, deciphered, annotated and translated, he said. What follows is an interview section of Lasry speaking about his groundbreaking research and discoveries.
You could say that it's a kind of an obsession. It's a passion and obsession, you could say. So the moment you see a cipher, I just can't let it go. I have to solve it. So we constantly look for cipher documents. Together we found those files in the French National Library, the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. So we found those letters. They were just with graphical signs, nothing to give a clue on the period or the contents, the writer, the recipient. And only after we cracked them, we were able to see their contents and to try to understand who wrote them and to whom. It took us about 2 months to completely recover the code. So what was interesting is that at the beginning, we only had fragments. And in those fragments, we saw captivity, we saw my son, and it was not clear. We started to have, we are not historians, but we have some ideas about history. And Scotland was mentioned. So what could be related to Scotland, captivity, and my son? So, and then we started to suspect that was Mary Queen of Scots, but we are not sure. She was taught about cipher when she was a child by her mother, Marie de Guise. So she knew how to decipher a letter already when she was 9 years old. And she was very much aware of the need to keep communication confidential from very early age. So this is really a very exciting discovery.
That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.